Well, with waiting they happen and the drama where they play out for River State, if care is not taken, Siminalayi Fubara, the governor of River State, may be as good as gone. Or maybe you will get to employ the tactics or the technique of Wike against them. As then talk say, it don't begin apply already. And plus other things and what they happen for inside Nigeria. And as I pay my belly word today, as I see videos of underpassed on retired soldiers as they drag rice, food for public function. That tells you how neglected then they for all the work within the work for Nigeria. Plus other matter than where they ground now go to bring for another month today. But I see the video tradition. Quick, make I go bring on a talk to read them with the shell for inside the country. I don't give on a phase one for afternoon. We could do phase two this evening. All right. Police deny bail to whistleblower who exposed alleged fraud at Tinubu's Tinubu's linked Alpha Beta firm, threatened to torture him and deny access to his phone. But that will be the cocoa of the matter. We could go to other cocoa of the matter with the share this evening. Lobbying firm Peter Obi blasts $9 million US propaganda spend $9 million US propaganda spending as national disgrace. And so economy is seen a national disgrace with that. Why hospitals beg for funds? It's a hospital they beg for money. When I carry $9 million, they do propaganda for inside you. Why you behaving like that? Now waiting a talk. But then let's go to other issues very quickly. Nigerian Sports Commission budgets 2.1 billion US dollars. Sorry. Naira, 2.1 billion naira in 2026 to organize sports festival that is already held in Ogun State. In case you don't understand, sports festival when they don't already do for Ogun State. Now, Waiting Sports Ministry budget 2.1 billion naira to use do. And it's just the one that say all this money where they start for budget, you see they won't carry and do. Waiting one person won't carry all this plenty money do. Will you go to heaven with all this money? Because what's in the insertion is this: FCT primary school pupils learn without desk in Gogolada despite UBEC funding. That is Wike's FCT. Now, grant, if I show you the images, just I don't want to embarrass the children as they do for grant to do their learning. Now, wow. Fuel tanker explodes in Adamawa, raises filling station, destroys several vehicles. That one day grant. Makoko residents raise alarm over massive eviction, demolition, seek Lagos Governor Sanwo-Olu's intervention. And then my twin babies died after taking immunization. Lagos resident accuses government clinic of fake drugs, demand justice. And Rivers lawmakers got 350 million naira each, according to Fubara aid. Now, so he talk. In fact, he talked this one for public TV itself. Will they come back to Rivers State, matter by the way? Terrorists demand 20 million naira ransom for Kwara trader threatening to kill woman if deadline is missed. Now what? Terrorists abduct housewife, 5-month-old baby in Kwara community near NYC camp. And then kidnappers free 5 women in Kogi community after collecting 12 million naira ransom. 3 others still held. You don't understand. 12 million naira ransom, now they take for these people their head like this. There's an exclusive report here of how your former Attorney General, AGF Malami, quietly returns to court after Shoti moves to pull out. That is, in Shoti moved to pull out of the game. He seeks judges' help to leave Kuje prison. But remember, they said they wait for us. So once you come out, we'll knock you another charge on top of your head. Odoke Kere school building collapses in Ikorodu. And then, of course, Sanwo-Olu orders immediate relocation of pupils. A whole school collapse. For the Lagos that we made, the Lagos that we built, how can school collapse? Court lacks power to intervene in impeachment process. Rivers Assembly insists, and they're adamant on impeaching Fubara as Fubara go court, go collect notice to stop the impeachment. Okay, all right now. Look what it says it will happen. Signed agreement as to commence Tinubu mocks Ngige's Okija shrine politics under Tinubu. Tinubu's keep Remembrance Armed Forces Day. AGC condemns weak leadership amid security concerns. And then, of course, Atiku Son and all the drama we surround. We're joining us in the studio this evening now. Got Prince Francis Chilaka. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, Prince Francis Chilaka, sir. Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Prince Francis Chilaka, there's something I want to report to you. So you know that we had Armed Forces Remembrance Day the day before yesterday. And of course, yesterday, and you know our gallant ex-soldiers them suppose we're supposed to eulogize them and reverence them and perhaps just praise them for the work what they do to protect our country. Make I show you a video where go break your heart. A video of our armed forces scrambling for food, rice. That is it. That is our armed forces in the struggle for.
And we are just managing because the team was supposed to give us, they didn't give us. Yes, sir. We went to the family for so many time. They were carried us to pension office. They said we should wait. Buhari will sign it. After Buhari, Tinubu will sign it. Up to now, we didn't get anything.
So some of them, their benefits, them now they talk since Buhari regime till now, they never get them. You can see how hungry this for the former army people where other countries is. In fact, when if they come out for other countries, they go to salute them. They see them for airports. Anywhere they see them, they go to salute them. These now the same people where they scramble for plates of rice. So politicians do for inside the program. It's so painful to see people who give their lives for their country to get this kind of condition. But anyway, make I take your
and we are just managing
before.
Because
there are things when you see them on television or when you see them in real life, you think it's a movie. You begin to ask yourself, why did God, in His infinite mercy, put you in a country like Nigeria? Unfortunately, the generals in the army, I'll start with them. They are not being sincere. They're not being honest. It's all about them. They think about themselves. They think of the rank they have attained. And because of that, they don't care about the foot soldiers. They don't care because if you check the entitlement of a retired, starting from a retired brigadier general to major general to lieutenant general, these are guys who are living in affluence. Because even when they retire, they still give them some of these military people who are still serving to be with them. And so people don't think about tomorrow. And that's the unfortunate thing. The group of leaders we've had over time don't think about tomorrow. They just think about themselves now and their families. So when you move it out from there, you ask yourself, you have a governor who serves for 8 years. You remember during today we're talking about the 10th Senate, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you go back to the time of Obasanjo as the president, you remember that when that tenure ended, a lot of governors signed some obnoxious documents giving so much to the former governors. Some of them got houses in Abuja, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, all over the place. They all had different vehicles attached to them. They had their hospital bills being paid by the state. But all they did was to serve the state for 8 years. And in those 8 years, a lot of them stole their states dry. We can mention quite a number of the states that did not see the semblance of governance in the 8 years of those governors. And yet, they get their pension, they get their emolument, they get everything that they're entitled to. But Nigeria has become a country where those who wear uniforms are not treated fairly, they're not respected, and unfortunately, rather than for them to hold the government responsible for their woes and their problems, they take it out on the bloody civilians. So we need to have a system that protects everyone from childhood. You're supposed to, from when you're giving birth to, ordinarily, every Nigerian should have an international passport the moment they're giving birth to. But does that happen? So you find out that the children will pay the same amount their parents are paying to get their international passports. The children of these former military officers, how many of them are given employment? How many of them are allowed to go to beautiful schools? So unfortunately, the politicians have messed up this thing, and the military men, the officers, the high-ranking officers have continued to join them and support them in messing up this country. That is what you showed, the video just showed, is so shameful. It's to show you that the shame has become so bad that a lot of us will hide our faces. But your leaders don't care. The leaders of the military don't care. The leaders of the police don't care. Because what you're talking about is not just only the military. It cuts across. How can people serve for 35 years? They will not be begging for their pension to be paid. And how much is that pension? How much is the pension? So I don't know how we got to a point where we have very wicked people as leaders, wicked Nigerians, because they're not foreigners, wicked, stone-hearted Nigerians as rulers. They're not even leaders, because a lot of them don't understand what leadership is. So it is this bad governance. That is why you can see a former governor who was not able to give his people the dividends of democracy, who was not able to bring development to his own state, the state where he's from. He is now attacking somebody who is trying to bring some form of light to the state. And I keep asking myself, where did someone like Alex Soti come from? What is he doing? Who told him that he should develop the Abia state? Who told him he should apply the funds he gets from the federal government to develop the state? He's a madman. Alex Soti is a madman. He's a completely madman. That is the kind of that is the kind of leaders we don't want in this country. We never want anybody that will do something that will leave a legacy. And that is why the only people who have left legacy, you take them back to 1979, the likes of late Jack Onde of Lagos, late Sam Mbakwe of Imo, late Ajasi. You know, these are people who were patriots. It wasn't about them. It was about their people. But, you know, the ones we have today, it's all about them. So, Oti trying to behave like those of the 1979, he's a madman. Because by the time he finished developing Abia, in 8 years, what will the next governor do? How will he embezzle money? So that is why those who were not able to develop their states, they're angry. They are angry because for them it's all about stealing, and it is that stealing that is making your soldiers to be dragging for food on the street like that. Pensioners, it is because all the money has been stolen. Unfortunately, this is Nigeria where we are. Up till tomorrow, don't forget, our ancestor Abacha is still sending money to us. So that is to show you the kind of country we are in. They steal our money, they steal our natural resources, they take it abroad. Are they not ashamed? This video you played, are Nigerian leaders not ashamed? These are people that are called up in other crime. They actually serve as a reserve. And they call them up to defend the country in time of crisis. But in Nigeria, we call them up to kill and collect small rice, collect small beans, and die in the process. So we all pray that Nigeria never happens to any one of us.
Amen. Oh, amen. Amen. I think I can hear myself. Oh dear. So there's something wrong with your audio. Okay.
You can hear yourself?
Yes, I can hear myself.
Yes, maybe you move. All right, just keep Go on, just give me a few minutes. I'll come back to you.
All right then. So another thing where I want to touch on, because as the same Nigeria don't happen to people, remember waiting if this happen to people for inside Makoko. As the Lagos state government don't they demolish houses for Makoko. As I speak to you right now, some people for inside Makoko no get where they stay. In fact, people in Makoko, some of them are forced to live inside their boats because as they demolish their houses, they not get anywhere where they say they go. And this one don't begin bring attention to the extent that a missionary, the person will be missionary person will be don't go do missionary service for inside Makoko had to post this on his Twitter handle today because he really did hurt him. He said, "I am appalled that the Lagos state government would demolish an entire village in Makoko fishing village in Nigeria and leave 10,000 people homeless and to sleep in their boats. I have visited this place many times through the years and been a part of helping start a Baptist church there and eventually a school to educate the children. There should be a massive outcry to support Chief, you call him Bale, Shemede, and his people. He is my friend and needs the support of Nigerian officials." But that will not be even the core of the matter, because if you see the way these people they were, remember, say they don't do protest, tired. They say protest not be carrier. I don't know how they're coping right now because most of, in fact, these are some videos where they come up from Makoko village, as in they cry
so
and they
this is it. You can see people in their boats. Look at people. Where are they going to? Like, they don't even have place they want to go to. Look at people. Look at everywhere have been destroyed. All the house here. Look at it. Take from this angle too. Look at it everywhere. Everywhere.
So this now the plight of people for inside Makoko. This now waiting then they go through, and people are just lamenting and crying. And
so this is it. You can see people in their boats.
Where they go carry them?
Look at
waiting will be their lots. Where they won't go from here? Where the governments actually okay? So before government earmark anywhere for demolition, for instance, the government ought to perhaps give them another place, provide another settlement for them. And most of these people are core indigenous people of Lagos State. Now people will be say go trace their genealogy to Lagos State, gone. Now this thing they happen to right now. Right now they no get place where they will go to. Some people they talk say the people then will get most of the land now for Lagos State. Now non-indigenous of Lagos State, but from other Yoruba town. Now they don't take over their town. Them now we get the town because they no get money. Some of them were from this Makoko village. Now so they don't get displaced. So Prince is still like that. As I speak to you, the Lagos state government don't even tell the rest people where they know demolish their houses. Make them paint the side of their houses so that it will look good when they see them from Third Mainland Bridge. So you don't order Makoko, the rest areas where they know demolish, and make them paint their houses in a uniform color. And you give them only 2 months to paint them so that it will fit enhance the aesthetic outlook of the waterfront view from Third Mainland Bridge. So that if they look out from Third Mainland Bridge, the place they look fine, you know, they anyhow again for eye. So those places where you feel view from Makoko for Third Mainland Bridge, so make them paint them, and by forcing them to paint them as soon as possible. Just 2 months. So people come to talk say wait, people never even chop food though. If they tell them to paint, then there are other people then waiting to that side. Ona don't demolish their houses, oh, they never even get where to go to. What's the way forward? Let me quickly take your reaction, especially as the outcry they come up on waiting they happen for inside Lagos State. Before we enter a school, we collapse on Lagos State. Where will they come? We will enter there before we reach the meant to read the whole game today.
You know, there's a scripture that says when the wicked is on the throne, the people suffer. Unfortunately, we have wicked leaders. I keep saying it. I'm not mincing words. Those we have as leaders, they're very wicked. They're very greedy. They're very selfish. Let me tell you something. I grew up in Lagos. As I sit here analyzing, I'm proudly a product of public school. I'm proudly a product of the late Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. The school I attended was one of the first schools he built. Government College Ikoyi. And I'm telling you, we were so proud. We were doing better than students who were attending private schools. We were beating them in sports, that's inter-house sports. We were beating them in debates. We were beating them in every field. I went to secondary school. I didn't pay one kobo. And a lot of people we have today as leaders, they are beneficiaries of the largesse of Nigeria. A lot of them are they all went to, most of them, even all of them that you have today, they went to public schools. They went to universities and they were paying less than 5,000, 10,000. Now, when there was shortage of accommodation in Lagos, maybe the people we have as governors today, they don't read history. The first place that government wanted to destroy them was known as Morocco. Where you now have Lekki and all of that. When the government was going to demolish Morocco, do you know what the late Jakonde did? He built estates. If you're going towards Aja, all those areas, you hear them talking of Jakonde Estate.
Yes, Jakonde Estate, yes.
He built a lot of them. He built on the one you have at Ikoyi, Ije. He built the one you have along along what do they call this place now? On the island. Quite a number of them scattered all over the place.
Even in the mainland too, they have some around them.
That's what I'm saying. On the mainland, quite a lot of them. So what did they do? A lot of people who had land, who had properties in Morocco, they just gave them a new place to move into. Those who were landlords, who had their papers, they gave them. Those who were tenants, a lot of them were settled to go and find somewhere to stay. You don't demolish a house without providing for the person where the person will stay. It's wickedness. Why do you have Federal Ministry of Housing? Since the last administration, that is the late Buhari's administration and this administration, how many houses have they built? How many? And every year you see billions allocated for housing. So this idea of trying to grab, snatch, and run with people's land, is it not what these terrorists are doing in the north? Will it not be wrong to say that the Nigerian government are also terrorists because of the way they treat Nigerians? Because at the end of the day, these people that don't have houses and you have demolished where they were sheltering, you're going to send them under the bridge. And if care is not taken, they will not open an IDP camp in Lagos. Maybe that's what the government wants to do. But is that the best thing to do? If you drive around Lagos, there are a lot of empty government offices when the federal government moved to Abuja. Why have they not converted them to residential area for people to stay in? The only thing we know we are very good at doing in this country by government is to build offices, build beautiful houses where you stockpile papers and all of that. Well, nobody is thinking about the ordinary citizens. Landlords have become Shylocks. They become so demonic. They become so wicked that they wake up from sleep and they tell you this is what they want. If you can't pay, move out. But when Jakonde was in power, He was able to do it in such a way that you either want the houses built by the government or you go and meet those landlords. And a lot of people preferred government houses because it was cheap and affordable. So, moving people, demolishing houses in Makoko, asking people to paint the houses, you've forgotten when one senator, I want to remember his name, did say the same thing in Abuja, that some houses on the road of the airport, they should be demolished and the people should be chased away. It shows you that a lot of people we have in power are not people who should be there. They have no empathy. They have no sense of reasoning. They don't have any conscience. But meanwhile, these same senators, in their individual states, most of them don't have roads, access roads to their village. It's really painful that in the 21st century like this, we are faced with accommodation crisis and the government is doing nothing about it. But rather than do something about it, the government is busy destroying and pushing people more into poverty. And this brings to question the 8-point agenda of Mr. President.
You never see the 20-something point agenda when the one is good for them. No worry, make I go show you another thing will happen inside Lagos State. Now, I don't know whether you dare where say building collapse on children today for Lagos State. And it's a public school building, a building that is supposed to be for Lagos State. Some people they talk, so wait a minute, is this not the Lagos we built? If for a whole Lagos State, classroom will collapse on top of children when they learn, then what do you expect from Ekiti states? What do you expect from any other village, any other states where it be say they don't get the kind of revenue with Lagos State? So people say with the kind of money where Lagos they see get public schools where it be say they like this, where building go down be dilapidated to the extent of collapsing on children. Now take a look at this video where somebody made from TikTok.
This is the local career high school at Ikorodu. School collapse now why they are receiving lecture in the class. But we thank God nothing happened. And the funniest part is that the school authorities, they are shouting for people not to video. And is this still not worth videoing? Because a lot of things will have happened to those children, if not because they are smart enough to quickly escape to rescue themselves. Because
okay, so you don't hear them. You hear what's in the person talk. It talk say they know even the teachers not even let them the record. So they say they no do video. It cannot be embarrassing Lagos State like that. By the way, the local government chairman waiting in charge of that area don't come see the thing and he don't promise say may they evacuate the children. In fact, the state governor today don't say may they evacuate the children to another place. Say they don't mark the building for the people. But when you mark that building,
Precious, hold on. This government lie upon lie has to stop. Government should stop lying to the people.
Hey.
They should stop. Every time a building collapses, the government will run out and say, we have marked it. You marked it and you close your eyes and you allow people into it. Is that not the height of incompetence? The person who marked it, is that person foolish? After marking it, you still allow people into it. You mark a building, you say this building is not good for habitation. You mark it today and you leave it off another 2 years. So why is the government quick at lying? Why is all the Nigerian government, the Nigerian governors, why are they quick at lying? Nobody wants to take responsibility. The first thing first is, who marked it for demolition? Who marked it unsafe? Who is the director that is responsible? He should be sacked and persecuted. We can't have a country where government officials do things and they don't get punished. And we just accept it that it is normal. We just pretend that all is well. The truth of the matter is that the government, most of the schools you will have that are public schools that are still standing were built by the late Lateef Jakonde. That's the truth. Because as far as government is concerned, public schools should not exist. Because most of the people in government are the owners of these private schools. This is a country that has no place for the ordinary citizens. Nigeria is a country where you used to have the middle class. In Nigeria today, there's no middle class. You're either rich or you're poor. There is no middle class. The politicians, in their wickedness, in their evilness, have wiped out middle class. And all the thing, is it why it pains me most is that each time these things happen, the government has never, across the entire state, they have never been proactive in responding to things that affect the Nigerian people. They have never been proactive. And for how long will this continue? Because if government has been proactive, you won't see people living in IDP camps. If government has been proactive, the health sectors will be working. If government has been proactive, the roads will be motorable. But no, these things are not available. But the government must, at the end of every year, you want to renew your car particulars, you must pay for roadworthiness. And the cars are plying on unworthy roads. So what kind of leaders do we have? So if children had died there today, they would have just become collateral damage. And nothing will happen. Nobody will get punished. Nobody gets sacked. And the government is quick to come and tell you that that building had been marked for demolition. You mark it for demolition and you close your eyes and you allow people to move into it. The government should stop lying to the people. Honestly speaking.
All right, sir. So make we enter the matter then we get today. And one of the big stories we get today is get to do with waiting investigative journalist Fisayo Shoyumbo talk. You know, if Fisayo don't always they used to, it always dig matter, especially as it get to do with customs. Well, I say carry customs matter for head like Ghana. Because they always give us expose for the smuggling activities of customs and how waiting they do and waiting they do. So it don't come out with one. So he spent the tweet where he tweet today just like say the thing just run everybody but people just the vex. Now you can see the tweet we basically put up for inside the handle. It's here. See what they talk say Happy New Year. Now January 5th, now I post this thing. He say Happy New Year on behalf of all smugglers, gun runners, and lovers of illicit and contraband items. I write to congratulate you on the December appointment of Deputy Comptroller of Customs, DCC, Bolaji Adigun, son of notorious smuggler Sokopao, as the new acting customs area comptroller of the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal, KLT Command, Lagos. Not long after his elevation as the Deputy Comptroller of Customs, DCC of Onne Seaport in River State. We all earnestly await the elevation of Sukupao's second son, Razak, to a similar or even more exalted position, knowing that two heads are better than one. Cheers to a beautiful, cheers to a smuggling full year. Prince Francis Chilaka. I'm not getting mouth to talk. Now, sir. Okay, sir.
I've always said that I don't believe in media prosecution. If you follow the EFCC, the EFCC helps to bring people to limelight. I've heard a lot of people who want to go into politics. They'll tell you, for me to become relevant in Nigerian politics, I'll do something so that EFCC will arrest me or the DSS will be chasing me. When they arrest me, put me in the media, they make me popular. So I think that in as much as Fisayo has his own rights to criticize a system, but it should be done in such a way that you make sense out of it. He has been, like you said, he's been like 6 and 7 or 5 and 6, fighting customs. But I think there are better ways to fight the system. In all the investigative journalism he has done, he has never filed any report to EFCC. He has never filed any report to police.
How do you know that, sir?
No, I've been following him. I follow him. I know.
How do you know he hasn't?
We haven't heard of any. But the point is this: I think that this tweet he tweeted is born out of malice.
Really?
Because if you have an issue with the appointment of a young man to a position, you have an issue with his father, you take it up with his father. You don't rub whatever grievance, anger you have on the face of the child. You don't do that. So if the father, yes, the father was a seasoned clearing agent and all of that. Everybody respected him when he was in the system. If you feel he has done something that is wrong, why don't you take it up with him directly? Why not begin to rubbish the children?
So
that is where I disagree. That is where I totally disagree with him.
So Professor Chilaka, in your opinion, you think that if their father had smugglers, or if the father had a business, he was a known smuggler, as he was
never. There is no way he was known as a smuggler.
Fisayo does not talk without evidence. He must have his evidence before he.
So let him bring the evidence. You should attack the father. Why are you attacking? Why are you using indirectly attacking the children?
Is Sheyi different from Tinubu?
Do you know the damage he's doing to these children?
Different from Tinubu? Have you not accused Sheyi Tinubu? Have we all not criticized Sheyi Tinubu's excesses here because of his father's own excesses? Have we not?
Well, if you say have we not, have we seen anything that he has done? The only time people criticize Sheyi Tinubu is when he goes overboard. After all, your former president, late Buhari, had a son. Was the son criticized? This young man has he has done everything he should do as a young man. He has gone through the ranks. So you must not use your anger and frustration that you probably suffered in the hands of the father to drag him down. That's my argument. If not for this tweet, do you even know who we're talking about? Will you have known about him?
We have heard about him before. And if you follow Fisayo, you will know that he's been on with smugglers.
No, I'm saying, have you heard about this young man, this Adigu, this deputy controller that has just been made?
They changed the DCs. Did we not hear in the news?
No, you're not getting my question. This officer, this young officer that has been made promoted to a DCG and made an acting controller, have you heard his name before? Even when he was on air. So why must it be now that he has been posted to Lagos that you want to spoil his career because of whatever you think his father has done? Why don't you face his father? The father has a name. Go and face the father. That is my own position.
All right. I totally respect your position and your opinion because you're my guest. And you know that if not because I respect you, I have a lot of more questions I would have asked. But because I respect
Precious, let me say this. I think there's one second. There's a big problem we have. And there's a big problem. The problem is that everybody seems to believe that every custom officer is a smuggler. But I can assure you that there are quite a number of very hardworking, very sincere custom officers.
Prince Francis Chilaka, if you have gold and you give it to a thief and the gold gets missing in the hands of the thief, who stole it? Sir? If
you have gold, you give it to a thief.
A known thief, the only person will be the thief for the house. Now you give your gold to keep. And in keep them where nobody know. In only I know where in keep them. But the gold, they still thief them. And in contact, you say they
another thief don't thief them now.
So what? No, in your what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first impression?
The first thing that comes to your mind is that he's the one keeping it.
It's okay. You've answered your question. Thank you, sir. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Honorable off the mic. It's okay. I have off the mic. I have off it. I'm not talking about this issue again.
Let's go to your state.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going
to your state.
I have abandoned my state for my state people.
Let's go to your state. Where you have a lion and a dog fighting.
A lion of the tribe of Judah.
One is a lion, one is a dog.
I am not going to my state. But before I go to my state, I would like to touch down very quickly in Delta State. So earlier today, the governor of Delta State said something, and I just thought to bring your attention to it. By the way, after buying the Delta State governor, Boriwori, spent 10.4 billion naira on SUVs for 65 traditional rulers. Meanwhile, a civil servant needs just 172 years to afford one. If you be civil servant, you go. That is SUV we buy for traditional rulers. The civil servant go work like 172 years to afford that SUV we buy for traditional rulers. And here is the governor of the state saying something today. I'd like you to take a listen to him. This is what Oberiwori had to say.
And I want to tell you one thing that most people don't even know. At this time, more money is coming to the states. I am not the governor that we hide. What am I going to hide for? It's coming from somewhere. So some people want to hide. There's no money. There's money. Use the money. I am using the money. Use it in your state. And we are using it here. So that the people...
You know, Yeram, he buy cars of how much for people, and there is money. Since he enter APC, people never they talk and say money day, but money full everywhere. So use the money, and he is using the money. So he can spend 10.4 billion naira to buy 65 cars for traditional ruler. It doesn't mean anything. Let them drive big cars, because now we're there for the center and we are using the money. I beg Shapali, make I take your opinion before I move to
No. You see, it shows you how clueless your leaders are.
Why are they clueless, but if you your conde clueful? Sorry.
It shows you how clueless your leaders are. First and foremost, you are in a state where if you're going to Anambra and you get to overhead bridge, as about that overhead bridge, precious, there is no road. There is no road. Most of the roads in Delta State, Asaba, they are not motorable. You see, you just have leaders who do not know what to prioritize.
So are you saying that buying 160 million naira SUV each for traditional rulers not the water?
Who are these traditional rulers? Of what use are they?
Of
what use are they?
Oh wow.
Sometimes we just give people titles and offices that are we running a monarchy? Of what use are they? He's just buying his way into the heart of these traditional rulers for a second term. This is nothing but bribery and corruption. That is what it is. How many civil servants in the state has he paid their pension? How many civil servants in the state have cars they can use to work? You are looking at the people you believe that would help to rig election for you. That is why you are buying cars for them. And then listen to a governor talking, spend the money. Is that how a responsible governor should talk? You know, sometimes some of these governors, when you give them microphone, they misyan. Tomorrow now, one of his head will come out and tell you, no, that was not what he said. So the money is available, spend it the way you want. No planning, no budgeting, nothing, just spend it. Most of the governors from the southeast, I am ashamed of them. It be like say, get one water and all of them they drink. And when they drink that water, they don't think. It is when they leave office that they begin to reason. But while they are there, they don't reason. So there is something fundamentally wrong. And it is high time that those who want to vie for political position should undergo serious mental check. Maybe they should say their head they correct before they will elect them.
All right, sir. So maybe move to other issues. You know what I don't get it. So you remember the case of against Alphabet. Yes, they are arrested. Now, and they don't carry a vote. Waiting in no. People talk if you protected and not to be rather this man has been access to, and then they do because of they need to pay their tax. I don't like the hot back. That hot back is back again.
No, I think it's from your end. No, it's not from here. I didn't do anything. You know, when you talk about whistleblower and you talk about the arrest of whistleblower, it simply points to the fact that when you silence the voice of the people, whatever step you're taking as government to silence the voice of the people, you are opening door for what? Dictatorship. And that is what it is. When you silence the voice of those who give you information, the message you are passing is that don't give us any more information. When you silence the voice of those who go out of their way to investigate an issue, what you're saying is that, okay, forget your investigation. So that's what the government is doing. The government will say the people are not speaking. When the people speak, you arrest them. When the people protest, you arrest them. When the people refuse to protest, you still go ahead and arrest them. So you just have a country that it is run like, trial and error. Today the law is in your favor. Tomorrow that same law is against you. Because from this action, it means that nobody will do whistleblowing again. Make all of us there inside the madness, they enjoy them. Earlier today, I was talking to a friend, and I told the friend, I said, why is it that, I told him to go and comment on something about the 8-point agenda of this administration. Let us know which of the 8-point agenda has really been tackled and which of it is really benefiting the lives of the Nigerian people. And this friend of mine, somebody I respect so much, if you see him talk about the pains ordinary Nigerians are going through, if you see him talk about bad governance, if you see him talk about the fact that people are living in IDP camps, you will doff your cap for him. And he told me, these things I tell you in private, I can't say them in public. And I said, why? He said, because I'm a party member. And because I'm a party member, I cannot afford to criticize the government. Because if I criticize the government, then it means I cannot get any contract from the government. And this is where we are today as a country, as a nation. A nation where people cannot speak their mind. People cannot say the truth for fear of intimidation, for fear of harassment, for fear of being locked up. So if you have somebody who has taken it upon himself to tell you that this thing they are doing here is wrong, and you now arrest the person, you are doing nothing other than pushing everybody in line, and that leads to nothing but dictatorship.
All right, sir. So very quickly, experience for inside Lagos State, because it is very important. We could talk about since we still talk about Lagos State, and then we go enter inside local government and Abia State matter. Then before we get to River State and the new tactics, so Fubara they bring out now when we use attack in Oga. if that tactics works for him. So the former Lagos State governorship candidate, Africa for and an African Democratic Congress ADC chieftain, Rhodes Vival, of Badebo Rhodes Vival, he don't accuse the Lagos State government of lawlessness, violence, and land grabbing following the demolition of buildings in Ilason, Jakonde Estate, despite a subsisting court injunction. Now, Rhodes Vival, who said he personally visited the area during the demolition exercise, alleged that operatives of the Lagos State Task Force violently attacked residents, leaving one man in coma and others severely beaten. I don't know how this is, but for a state government to order talks to beat somebody to the extent where the person they in coma, and then you know they fight for in life because of demolition of building. Now, he further said that I personally visited his Ilason Jakonde estate to see the demolition process despite a court injunction. Before my eyes, a man was beaten to coma, while others were flogged mercilessly by the task force of Lagos State government. Now, he was speaking, on Arise Television. Now, a lot of people don't they argue. So this thing don't bring talks amongst core Lagos residents or core Lagosians. Rhodes Vival, now Lagosian. Most of the people where they power for Lagos State. In fact, people say over 80% of people where they power for Lagos State, not be from Lagos State, including the governor. So then now they don't they accuse the government of coming to grab their land for inside Lagos State. Now, waiting Rhodes Vival talks saying land grabbing. Now it be say the government they do. Saying a pure land grabbing. And that the government don't even get empathy or any kind of feeling of where these people go settle go. Okay, you want to use the land for something, or you feel like the houses are not befitting of that environment. How do you want them to do? These are people who are just struggling to survive. What's in the thing where you want them to do? What is your plan for them? Or if you throw them out, where would they now go to? Or they should now spill over to other states and leave their ancestral lands to go where exactly? I mean, make I take a reaction before we go inside their state matter, sir.
It's funny because before now, they would have said, oh, the Igbos want to take over Lagos State.
No,
but I'm happy that I am happy that it is happening amongst the same Yorubas. Because each time, if you have followed the trajectory, each time there's this tribal sentiment about Igbo and Yorubas, you find out that the people who are promoting it are not even Lagosians. 80% of those who promote the problem you have between tribes in Lagos are not Lagosians.
By the way, one of them just posted this evening and said that 95% of those who don't want Tinubu to be in power or to come back for second tenure are Igbos. And somebody else responded to him and said 95% of those who don't want to be president are Yorubas. And I said,
no, but it's true.
There are lots of Yorubas who pretend to be, and there are lots of Igbos too who supported Tinubu. Why are we doing this consistently to ourselves? Now, so on a loose match, one young man from northern Nigeria tweets saying an Igbo boy from Igbo origin, now make Nigeria lose the World Cup. They didn't do it deliberately because of the struggle for Biafra. Are you kidding me?
See, when you hear such things, we must be sincere with ourselves. There's unemployment in the land. There's poverty in the land. There's hunger in the land. These are weapons that the politicians are using. And then when you go a step further, you find out that the issue of religion, the issue of ethnicity has been broadened. So people no longer see things well. People no longer think straight. People are no longer logical with their ideas. People are now pushed to one angle. And that angle is either it's an Igbo man, or it's a Yoruba man, or it's an Hausa man. Until we are able to cure ourselves of that, this whole thing we call Nigeria, unity of Nigeria, is a mirage. And that is why I've been advocating. Let us throw away state of origin and embrace state of residence. But your senators, your honorable members, they will never listen. Because they're also beneficiaries of the cluelessness and madness we have in the system. So yes, when you say that people are being driven away, people are being, their houses are being demolished, yes, they're all indigenous of the state. But then, if you have a governor, like they say in quote, is not from the state, you have 80% of those working in the state, not from the state, how do you think they will treat the indigents? The indigents have been captured, whether you like it or not. But as God will have it, nobody will come and say it is the Igbos that is capturing Lagos. It is the same Yorubas from other states that are capturing Lagos. And until Lagosians wake up to smell the coffee, it will never stop.
Okay, I mean, Rose Vivo is, talking about it from the angle of empathy. No empathy on the part of government. You're making people lose something without looking for means for them to recover or perhaps cope with what you're making them lose. But let's quickly visit Abia State, where local government chairmen in Abia State have berated former governors of the states for ganging up against the incumbent governor Alex Oti, describing them as architects of a failed past who are unsettled by the present progress in the state. Now, isn't it called them? That is Association of Local Government Chairmen come together because say Ikbazu, say Ikbazu, TAOG, and Ojus Okalo, say them be architect of failed pasts who are unsettled by the present progress in Abia State. Now, according to the mayors who addressed a press conference today, Friday, in Umuahia, the former governors are only envious of Governor Uku because they felt intimidated by his laudable achievements. That's what they talk. In fact, he said, make a end here. Said, Francis, I don't call you Doctor, Prince Francis Chilakasa. The drama.
The truth of the matter is that the likes of Ojus Okalo and co, those that he has gathered together, they're all clueless. These are people who hate Abians. Honestly speaking, these are men who should not even be allowed to step their foot in Abia State. If you add all the number of years, 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24 years. I mean, these guys wasted 24 years of the life of Abia people. They took their money, they took their resources, they took their time, they took their people. In a same line, these people should be in jail, or they should be prosecuted. They should be held accountable for the way they misgovern the state. But nobody's holding them accountable. That is why you have governors who did not perform in their states. They retired to the Senate. And you expect these same people to make bills, to make laws that will favor the ordinary people, or the laws that will develop the country. You cannot expect anything from them. Because these are people who cannot give what they don't have. You can't give. What are they going to give? So yes, the local government chairmen are right. I totally support them. If I were them, I would also insist that the House of the State House of Assembly pass a law prohibiting them from entering the state. Yes. Until we begin to treat people like this country will not move forward. And not being able to account for the resources of the State House of Assembly should be able to enact a law banning you from that state. I'm shocked and pained that a whole person like Senator Ojus Okalo can come out with the shame of governance he delivered in Abia State. He has no legacy, nothing to his name. Nothing.
He said Alex Oti is repenting the roads he built, though.
Is he not ashamed to say that? At least if he's repenting the roads are motorable. Make him paint them. So they want him to embark on new elephant projects like they did. Well, you see, looking on the second thought, it's like Alex Oti is a madman. Honestly. Because I don't understand why a whole Alex Oti will be developing the state using the money he's getting from the federal government. He's a madman. Someone like Alex Oti should even be stoned by the Abians for developing their state. They should stone him. They should allow the state to be in dirt, to be undeveloped the way it was when these three governors reigned. These three former governors. So, at Alex Oti, there is something wrong with you. There is something wrong with you. We need to take you to hospital to check whether you are normal. We need to go and check whether Alex Oti is a Nigerian. Because the way he's doing in Abia State, he shouldn't be, no. He shouldn't be doing it at all. He should allow the state to rust. That is when they will not know they have a governor. Not just Akala and Co, they should be ashamed of themselves. That's why I keep saying that the problem in the southeast, the problem in Igbo land, it is a problem caused by our so-called leaders.
All right, sir. So let me quickly just report something to you. One of the sons of Atiku Abubakar just spotted to ADC, and ADC don't use an insult, and it reported to APC, and APC don't use an insult. How can your father be vying for presidency in ADC, and you're moving to APC? What is going on? And the boy has vowed, the young man has vowed to support President Bola Tinubu's second term. Even though say Atiku Abubakar don't react, Atiku talk say no, don't worry, you get the right to pursue your own. His son get the right to pursue your own dream, but that what he wants to do is to make sure that he removes APC in power. Meanwhile, the APC they use them against Atiku, say he showed the kind of character when he did for his son not to want to work in his. Remember that Erufai's son is still in APC, and him Erufai did ADC. What is going on? Are they deliberately planting their children in APC deliberately, or their children just against their own principles or their father's principles?
Well, politics is actually meant to be a game of football, game of chase. That's the way it should be. It should be a game, freely played by anyone, But you and I know that. You and I know that. These people's children in APC, they are paperweights. They're not even featherweights. They're paperweights. And I do not believe in all ramifications that APC will give responsibility to those people. And strategy now, as your president is a strategist, all aspirants too are also strategists. So now strategy. As APC get mold for ADC and Labour Party, now ADC too don't decide to get moles everywhere. So now moles they reign. It's not about whether the young man has his own vision or no. It's about what he has been instructed to go and do in the party. Time will tell.
All right, so let's get straight to River State, what I've been avoiding and hoping that we'll not have to discuss it, but I don't have a choice. Earlier, we woke up today with, sir, finish it up. We wake up today with...
Since they removed the expatriate from River State, all has not been well. Maybe they need to bring him back.
Remember, say, 4 lawmakers with this week alone, they don't come talk, say they don't want to go ahead with impeachment, including the one we see weekend and constituency. Come talk. And then today now, wake up to 4 of them saying that no, they go against the thing, say they don't make U-turn, they support the impeachment, so that they're going ahead with impeachment, and the House is going ahead with it. They don't, the speaker don't transmit letter to the chief judge, make it go constitute a committee, even though say they don't go take an order for court today to halt the impeachment or to stop judge from proceeding with the impeachment. However, that order no go fit go any far, because by Monday they go appeal the judge. That one are just to calm the nerves during this weekend. Now, a lot of people they talk say Fubara need to do a lot of things. People they talk say, Fubara adopts the style of Wike by going to the court or using courts to stop that. We all know that courts cannot stop a legitimate house from functioning. Like, if you stop, just like courts cannot tell you to stop breathing or give an order that you should stop breathing. That same way that the court cannot stop the National House of Assembly from executing their legislative function. So, but the only thing that's what perhaps halts the activities at the meantime till Monday when they go appeal them and they go back to their work. But a lot of people don't look at the dynamics of the game as they go. And then people are saying that, is the chief judge likely to actually constitute a committee that would not be viable by Wike? In fact, some people for River State on the talk say the only person Wike cannot buy is God. Nobody waiting to put for committee if Wike won't buy, you know, go buy. And people don't they talk, say, remember that the chief judge, Wike and his team get a case against them already. Even though saying that them employ him, that them put him on or appoint him. First of all, he wasn't the most senior judge at the time. Where we say they make him chief judge. That's one. According to them, say, oh, secondly, they bring age falsification matter put for here. Say he false in age. Like say, I'm the first Nigerian politician, Nigerian civil servant say they false age. You know, so that the part of things where they will go dent in professional record where if no want to be dented. With Wike and his team will use against them. So as it is now, they are holding that one inside. They hold on for where he hold on tight. So he may not even be able to do anything more. And he may be forced to constitute a 7-man panel that will tilt towards Wike and his men. That means Siminala Fubara is as good as gone. The only thing that may save the governor is if Tinubu intervenes. But then, according to them, say Tinubu said they're not seeing because they not fit talk to them. He's been incommunicado to a lot of people. Some people are wondering whether the president is actually well enough. You know, since if he say never did in communication with anybody. What is the faith of Siminala Fubara? Now people they talk say it's not a big deal. I mean, if he is impeached in 90 days, then we'll conduct election and another person will take over for inside the state. But however, which example that thing show for River State? Show say now they will come conduct election, we'll come bring another person where Wike go appoint. And where of course we go re-election to in favor. What does that mean for the people of River State? A lot of drama. I remember if that thing happened, that impeachment happened, that means Amehula would be the governor pending on. That means Amehula would have been, we go don't get an equal man again become governor of River State. So the drama too much for inside River State. But make I take care. What do you think? First
Okay,
of all, about
let me start by saying that Fubara will not be impeached.
I like your faith.
Yes, he will not be impeached.
I feel like telling you they play. They play.
This thing, the impeachment has moved now from politics to the judiciary. I hope you're following that trajectory. It has moved from the original standpoint of politics into the hands of the judiciary. You said that the court cannot stop the State Assembly from performing. Yes, the court has not stopped the State Assembly. If you read that judgment very well, the court is working on the judge. The court is telling the judge that you cannot constitute a panel. You cannot even accept a letter from the State House of Assembly. So we need to understand the judgment. Go and read it very well. So the judgment is not saying that the State of House of Assembly cannot start or initiate impeachment.
No, you don't get it. So if the court gives that, the court is also ordering the state not to go ahead. It's ordering both the legislature and the judiciary not to do their work. That's what
the High Court is holding the judge by the balls. See, let me tell you what will happen. Except Fubara is a duckling. If he's not a duckling, I hope he's listening to this program. Let me give him way out of his present predicament.
They say Fubara didn't listen to anybody's advice.
In Imo State, the governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, appointed a chief judge that was not meant to be a chief judge. And what did they do? Simple. Some people came together and dragged Hope Uzodinma and the Supreme Court to the, Judicial Council of Nigeria. And they gave their verdict. And what was the verdict? Okay, that man you appointed as judge cannot serve as chief judge of the state. He told the man, he removed the man and put another person. They said, no. There's a protocol, there's a line of protocol, follow that line. So if Fubara knows that the judge has questionable character, attack him. Because the way it is, the only way to calm the nerves in River State is bumper to bumper, order for order. for her. But unfortunately, you have a governor who keeps giving you proverb about dog. Whether dog is barking, whether dog is not barking. When it's in the battlefield where they're using grenades and missiles, he's talking of dog. I expect him. See, let me tell you the truth. When Obuzodinma became governor, no, when Mecca Hodion, he was governor for 7 months, and he noticed that Rochas was going to give him problem. What did he do? He banned Rochas from entering the state. That is what I said. If I was somebody like Fubara, I am telling you, a wicked will not enter that state. Because the powers of the governor is enormous. But it's like Fubara does not understand the powers he has. And like you said, the man has suddenly become deaf. And when a man becomes deaf, he doesn't hear anything. He only hears himself. This is a matter that you cannot settle lying low. Bumper to bumper. When EFCC was coming after him in the dying days of a Wike's government, and Wike was hiding him, those things that he was doing for Wike, why is he not using it against him? Why? So I don't, that's why I say, maybe it is time to bring back the expatriates. Because, Fubara has just been surviving on the grace of God. Not that he's doing anything special. I don't see that fighting spirit in him. That spiritual, that you are fighting a man who wants to. It's like a man coming into your house and want to rape your family, rape your daughter and your wife. And you are smiling. That dog with a back on her. Which kind of dog they back? I said that he's not talking. When he said that, I said, this man is not talking like a governor. He won't take style, give proverb like Jonathan, but your own proverb no enter. Because Jonathan's proverb was clear. It is still difficult waking a man that is pretending to sleep. So bringing it back to Savior, who will save him, yes, I agree with you that if President Tinubu was in Nigeria, by now there won't be any impeachment process. What happened in Lagos between Obasa and the State House would have happened in Rivers. But like as you said, we don't know where our president is. We know, just press release. Now they take over us. He has appointed. He sends a condolence. He sends a congratulatory message. And there we did. But whichever, Mr. President has stayed out of the country for too long. He needs to come back and address a lot of issues.
All right, sir. While this is going on, we hear that there's an ongoing meeting in the Kano State Governor's Lodge right now in Abuja, and that meeting now, their cabinet meeting, will be fit to determine whether in the leave, him and the rest of the cabinet will leave to APC immediately after this meeting today. So we may be hearing that the Kano State Governor will be moving to APC. But very quickly, as we get to do with Malami, we hear say the former governor, former Attorney General AGF Malami, if they get some problem, he don't meet in bail condition, but one of the shorties and threats and say he will leave, he will withdraw from the bail condition. And this one don't bring a setback. So in team of lawyers get to work out, go meet the judge today to go look for ways where he them will release them. In fact, earlier report we talk say in the don't meet in condition finish, but again in they also fear to leave because of say yes, a DSS the station they wait for him to do for them waiting him they do show them that year when they bail you in rearrest you again. So that kind of thing I need a way to do for them to come rearrange them now for terrorism financing. But that's notwithstanding. Now, if they find a way be say if it is getting easy exit from Kuje prison after meeting in bail condition as one of him shorties them don't they threaten to withdraw from the case. Make I get to hear from you, sir.
Then they happen. You see, there's something about this life. And until we all come to that realization that, see, this life is like a fleeting smoke. Today you have it, tomorrow is gone. Today you have all the money in the world. Tomorrow you are 6 feet below. Tomorrow you have all, like today you have mansions and all of that. Tomorrow you have nothing. And until those who are given responsibilities to take care of the people, for realizing that the people have given their sovereignty to you, so you have to hold it in high esteem and do something right for those people. So whatever Malami is going through is just testing what the ordinary Nigerians test on the street on a daily basis. It's just testing the fact that people can get into prison for just 1,000 naira. They don't have to bail themselves. For 5,000 naira, they don't have to bail themselves. For doing straight trading, they can just go to prison. And they will be there waiting for the DPP. So, yes, maybe the man, when they use as, when give the collateral, maybe they don't threaten the man, say, okay, this is your collateral, we'll use them, we'll take them. Something must have happened, something must have played out for somebody to want to pull out. But whatever it is, justice shall prevail. That's just my own. Let justice prevail. After all, there's no, people have been in prison, people have been there, most of them, he sent them to prison. Don't forget also that people are pointing fingers at him for being the one that was responsible for the extradition of, for the kidnapping and rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. So there are a lot of issues that is begging for an answer. But the truth of the matter is that if the bail condition has not been met, okay, make it good for Kuje prison. Make it still school down there. Nothing they do. But because as it is, if he's afraid of coming out because he doesn't want to be rearrested, is it not better to stay inside there?
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes. And he's there, with his money. You get VIP treatment. You get telephone when you go use. You go there, they plan within the one plan. But if you enter DSS office, their locker room, your phone, you maybe enter their premises itself, they don't knock out your phone. And for people to visit you is a problem. Kuje people, if you come there, come visit every day. People come there every day. Just like Lagos and Kirikiri and the Kirikiri prison. Female and male prisons. People come there every day to visit their relatives. So let him just be there, be patient, and whatever he gets. At least he's feeling what ordinary Nigerians feel on a daily basis. So it's a welcome development.
All right, sir. Okay, so very quickly, let me just take some insecurity stories and I get to Peter Obi response and I open the phone lines. Let me even see how many minutes we've done. It's about 1 hour, so we can open the phone lines. So very quickly, first of all, we hear say kidnappers free 5 women for inside Kogi community after they then collect 12 million naira for ransom from them. And they still hold 3 others so far. Then carry about 8 people. 5 of them they don't release with 12 million naira ransom. Then the other 3 they still hold them captive. This happened for inside Kogi State, and they still they they still there for inside the other 3 still there their custody. Meanwhile, terrorists abduct a housewife and a 5-month-old baby for inside Kwara community near New York and near NYC camp. I'm not going to just read all of them too much because the thing they torment my head. Terrorists don't demand 20 million naira ransom for Kwara trader. A trader threatened to kill the woman if she meets the deadline of bringing the money. All of this and more, and the kind of things that we Nigerians they go through for the hands of insecurity. And in the midst of this, your President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has paid 9 million naira to
Nine what?
US 9 million US dollars, I beg your pardon, to US lobbyists to use scam their nerves for what get to do with Christian terrorism. So this now waiting Peter Obi get to the because waiting get to talk because Peter Obi put mouth inside the talk. I think condemned the federal government's reports of spending 9 million US dollars contracts with a Washington-based lobbyist as in fact, he call a national disgrace. Say no will be the fit talk about a national disgrace. And he's saying a stark example of misplaced priorities. Again, that the funds could have been used to address Nigeria's their healthcare crisis instead of attempting to polish the country's image abroad. What do you want polish? You want polish image wey still dey polishable and the image wey dey unpolishable. What are you actually polishing? Things they this body they polish. Now he say for inside a strongly worded statement, so be saying post on in Twitter today. Now he say post them. Okay, we're already on a new day. Yesterday, now he post them. Obi described the expenditure equivalent of approximately 14 billion naira as wasteful spending on propaganda. He said this kind of spending and nonsense money where they spend on propaganda. A wasteful spending on propaganda lies a negative aspect of development, while critical sectors suffer. Now, the contract signed in December 2025 with VCI Group through a Kaduna-based law firm on behalf of the National Assembly, the National Security Advisor, involves monthly payment of 750,000 US dollars, and we pay for 6 months upfront, ahead. Now, he said an initial 4.5 million US dollars retainership was reportedly paid, which is for 6 months. Obi linked the deal to a broader failure of governance, pointing out that Nigeria has remained stuck in the low human development index, the category, for 35 years, from 1990 till today. Instead of to look for something that will improve the lives of our people, on the waste money for inside propaganda. He said quite a lot. But the high point of this conversation, after P2B tweets this tweet, or as P2B they think this direction, she will suddenly they think in own direction, because she will suddenly they talk, say people will cause this propaganda, na Igbos. Say na IPOBs and I go lie to American government, say then get Christian genocide for Nigeria. When Christian genocide no day. So make her take your reaction to them. So I don't know whether that's why IPOBs a bit lie we be say they believe quick like this. We're gonna make Trump send missile to Nigeria sharp. I can't see you, sir.
Yeah, I know what I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Bandwagon
has carried you. Sorry, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I've said to a lot of people that we try to look at people, and we try to look at some leaders, and we try to give them the respect they do not deserve. And one of such people is Alhaji Shehu Sani. He's a man who has become slightly delusional in the last few years, or the last 1 year or two. He's no longer reasoning like somebody who people respect, and I don't know why he's doing that. When you say IPOB is responsible, then it means that the charges they preferred on Nnamdi Kanu should be dropped, because at least now they are recognizing him as a freedom fighter. Maybe he doesn't know the import of what he just tweeted. So suddenly, the Biafra people woke up and assembled themselves and went to American government to tell them that there is genocide in Nigeria. All the people that were interviewed when this thing started, are they from the Southeast? Are they from the Southeast? When people were killed in Yelawata, are they Igbos? When the governor of Benue State came up and said he has list of people causing mayhem and all of that in the state, was it given to him by the Igbos? So I don't know why this whole thing about every time the Igbo man, And unfortunately, that are promoting this divide and rule. Is it not experiencing firsthand the deaths that are happening in Nigeria, the kidnapping that is going on?
No, it's saying a propaganda. Say no.
Is it not ashamed as a former senator to begin to talk like that? When he should be condemning the fact that government is spending our hard-earned money, our hard resources to bribe. That is what you should be condemning. But you're making excuses for government expenditure. You're making excuses for government in spending our money to do what they're not supposed to do. So for me, I'm one of those who have stopped taking Alhaji Sani seriously because he doesn't add value to anything anymore. He's one of those who as on the back of society. So what did he bring back to the civil society? Nothing. He only went there to enrich himself. And as soon as his pocket started going dry, he now joined APC. So that's the character of the about. So as far as I'm concerned, the government has failed and the government continues to fail the people. The money that they are spending to bribe these people, why not use it to go and rebuild the ancestral homes of those in IDP camps? Do you know how far that money will go in taking people back to their ancestral homes? So when I talk about misplaced priority, this is what it is. The government is in this aspect, the government is actually acting in a clueless manner. What is more important to them is to be able to find a solution to what is on ground.
Now, one of the solutions where we said the defense minister, that Christopher Musa don't earmark, he don't talk, say we need to build wall, around our borders, so that most of these will be coming. I don't know why we have that hold back. I don't know why you cut that causes the hold back. So that most of this terrorism will be coming from the neighboring community again. So neighboring states, so that they won't be coming in again. And there was something else he also said. So he strongly warned against negotiating with bandits. And of course, we know the Katsina state government been in the news recently for the attempts to free 70 terrorists because they talk saying that based on a peace deal we didn't get with them. And the Kaduna State government before now don't also embark on a peace deal with the terrorists and before now too. So with this morning with the defense ministry, the one it is say it go touch the governors and when they go embark on these negotiations, or maybe they go hear what they don't talk then desist from further negotiations.
Well, a lot of governors in the north they're not interested in curbing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just don't want to talk about them.
Okay, the governors in the north, most of them, I think they are being very sympathetic to these terrorists or headsmen or whatever you call them. Because if they're not being sympathetic to them, they would not be defying the actions and decisions of the Ministry of Defense. So, but what do you expect? This is what it is. You're in a country, it appears that there is no law anymore. Everybody's doing what they want to do. Now, the people you are negotiating with, I keep asking, that's why I keep asking, when you negotiate with them, what are the terms of negotiation? And who are these people? Nobody's asking, nobody's telling us who are they and
I don't know if you're the one pressing or your internet. I don't feel tell.
What do they want? Effort are they putting in to curb it's one thing to talk, it's another thing to carry out. What Nigeria want to see that, oh, these bandits have been eliminated. Sorry?
This thing it lag, so I dey barely hear you, and it dey like say they take a long pause, and because I can't see your face, I can't tell if you're still on or if you're talking and just
So those are the
It's unfortunate. I think the network is bad. Well, let me open the
support of that. But does this government because I can't see your face?
All right, so phone lines are open, Nigerians. If you want to jump in on the conversation, 0817029407. I don't understand why I'm having this all back. It's just
so phone lines are
open. 0817029407. That is the number to call to join the conversation. Or you can follow the link on the pinned post. The link will bring you straight into the studio to join us inside the studio. Or you call that WhatsApp number. Earlier I told you guys that a review of the 2026 budget has revealed that the National Sports Commission (NSC) allocated 2.1 billion naira to promote and organize National Sports Festival 2025 in Ogun State. In case you don't understand, National Sports Festival was held in Ogun State. Do you understand? I think Shabina, that one where they say where those kind of people will they come back from where they can't get accidents. So the whole National Sports Festival for 2025. How do you now say that inside 2026 budget you now put 2.1 billion to use promote the sports festival of 2025? We don't go. I don't understand. That's in the budget. Now, this is despite the event having already taken place, and Ogun State is not scheduled to host another edition in 2026. So how do you say you're promoting the 2025 one? Now, the 2025 National Sports Festival was held in Ogun State between May 16 and May 30, 2025, and was formally declared open in May by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Despite this, the same event appears in the 2026 federal budget, raising questions about the purpose of the 2.1 billion naira allocation. Where's you put the money for there? If it be say on a mind declare for which one get money for, where's you gonna put that money there? People are asking. But let me open phone lines before I let Francis Chilaka jumping on that conversation. Hello, good evening and welcome. Ike Okwareke, welcome, sir.
Hi, Sister Precious. Good evening.
Hello, brother Ike. You're welcome, sir.
Prince Chilaka, good evening too. Thank you so much for bringing the nation wherever we find ourselves. Every day we look forward to jumping in to know what is happening in our dear country. Of all the things you said today, there are two that I just want to talk about. The first one is the unfortunate statement of the governor of Delta State. Most of my cousins, brothers that traveled this Christmas, their greatest problem was crossing from Asaba into Onitsha. Most of them didn't follow the main way. They had to follow some side roads, Obogonogo, and so on, to be able to get into Onitsha. And this governor didn't see fixing that road, especially at this festive period, that fixing the road only would have helped his political aspiration, would have helped to launder his image, whatever it is. Because the people that are going to pass are not just going to be Deltans. They're going to be people coming from Lagos, going to the eastern part or south, and those going back again. The word of mouth, what word of mouth can do for you. People will go to say, wow, that's governor in Delta State is really doing well. That could help you much more than billboards or television adverts and maybe going on digital to find people to launder your images. Only building that road would have helped him to campaign for him, but he bungled it, and now he's saying he has so much money to buy vehicles for traditional rulers.
No,
So
we not talk specifically saying for traditional rulers. He say the state get money now, plenty money.
I had 110-point-something billion for vehicles. Who were those vehicles for?
Just that one, and the one where you just buy for them now. That is 160 million naira for one vehicle for 65 traditional.
So that's probably it was a misplaced priority. He probably would have used it to
traditional rulers don't deserve vehicles.
Those traditional rulers are not the old traditional rulers we used to know. These ones are not representing their people. These ones are tools in the hands of government to do their nefarious activities, because those traditional rulers, since the power has been given to the state to hire and fire, they've been taking their allies, not necessarily those that the people wanted. So these traditional rulers are not representative of the people. So those things they are doing are just to reward their allies, and they are using government money to do that. So it was a very wrong decision he took. He took using such money to go and buy vehicles for them. That aside, the second one is Rivers State. I tell you, Fubara, of course, I didn't see him as a legitimate governor. So whatever I say now, it is not in sympathy of any of the sides, because I feel two of them are fighting for what that did not belong to them. Fubara made so much enemies for himself. He is a man now that is standing without any base. He is hanging. His legs are not on the ground. You know, those four lawmakers, they have played a video to them what will happen that have not happened. That's why they quickly went back to do a U-turn. Now, the presidents that I know will not sacrifice Wike for Fubara. I'm telling you the fact. So Fubara going to the court, he's playing into Wike's hands. Wike owns the court. So going to court to go and think he's going to stop his impeachment will not help him. Fubara wouldn't have anybody to run to anymore. Because most of those people that did all those protests, supporting him initially when this thing started, he came and threw all of them under the box. He even came and even told us that his spirit has left the government house. And then he comes back now, went and defected also. And the way he did that, it was too untidy. It was too untidy. I told you before that there was no reason for composing song. There is no reason for it. Composing song, who won't follow Tinubu, no follow Kona. There was no reason for it. There was no reason for to be dragging 001 and so on. I don't know who is advising him. What's his name? Sanwo-Olu is the governor of Lagos State. He's not dragging any 001. You can quietly do your thing and then get out from that place. But all of these things all these public pronouncements, backing dog, 001, composing songs, they are making you look so, sorry to use that word, stupid before the people. Because the person you are fighting has the whole local government in his hands, has the whole House of Assembly in his hands. Then who do you want to? Who will save you? Is it former governor? What's his name again? The wife is the judge. Those are not the people that are. Those are not the people that are going to save you. The president will not. Federal government, but Akpabio and his people are not also going to come to be on your side. I don't know who is going to help him in this fight. So going to court now, telling the judge not to receive letter and so on, is almost stopping a trend that have already moved. So I pity him because I don't think he's going to survive this. I don't think so. But the people that are suffering is the state, the innocent people of Rivers State that have not experienced good governance since this thing started. But I mean, it is still not their fault. They voted somewhere and another thing was declared. So I pray for Rivers State because I have lived in Rivers State and I know how much I enjoyed the Garden City. But what I hear now about that same state makes me cry. I thank you so much, like I said, for bringing Nigeria to us, and have a happy weekend, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my brother. Do have a great weekend yourself. Thank you. Hello, good evening, son. Welcome.
Good evening, Precious. I'm trying to contribute in what Chinaka said.
Okay, go ahead,
about,
sir.
Can I go on?
Yes, go ahead, sir. I can hear you. What's your name first, and where are you calling from?
There's what Chinaka said about the governor of Rivers State. The governor is not using his power. I remember when this man is governor of Enugu State, Chimaloke Nnamani, is fighting with the same godfather of like Jim Wobodo. I know what the man did, that he makes sure he didn't mind him not to come to state. But if he come inside the state, quietly go to your house, not moving around on the state, because she controlled the state. So Fubara is not using his power. He's too adamant or too quiet. I don't know how to put it. And again, Wike moving around inside the River State. I've stayed in River State for like 20 years before I left from River State. I know during the time of Ateke and even this Asari Dokubo, when they have that war, both in Degama and other things, I remember there's one place they call Okuru in River State. I know one night, we wake up in the morning because we are walking in the jetty, and one day we come in on walk. The only house standing that place is the Anglican church. They pull everything down. So Wike going to meet all the two guys, you know what is planning. That's what I want to tell the people on the ground about River State. Ateke and Asari Dokubo, that time of war in River State, I'm there. I know what they did. So what my advice is to the governor of River State. He should wake up. He's sleeping. Let him wake up and stand on his ground. Even the impeachment saga or impeachment process they are talking about, if we have his power, he can still stop it with the resources of the state, because he has everything he can use to stop that impeachment saga they are doing. No matter which case in Abuja.
Right. Thank you, sir.
So please.
Thank you.
If the man is listening to our issue, wake up.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello.
Hello, good evening, President.
Sir?
Hello, good evening, President.
You're welcome, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
I was calling from Canada again.
You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Am I free to speak or should I hold on?
Sure, you are free to speak. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, okay. My contribution to what I will add regarding this Nigeria issue. First of all, I would say thank you for bringing Nigeria.
The volume of your listening device is on and I can hear you hold back. Please, if you can help me turn it off.
Okay. So I would say, first of all, thank you for bringing Nigerians to us so that we are updated through your platform every day, what is happening back in Nigeria and everything as well. So, what I was, let me use this narrative here. You see, the last time I said we haven't got leaders in that country. That's the truth. And secondly, let me use the word like bandit, but when we say banditries, they keep saying bandits. The leaders in the country are the bandits. That's just the truth. Because what bandits do, when bandits steal, when bandits go ahead and steal and take what does not belong to them, what do? They share what they've looted among themselves. Because they steal from the people and they share a few group of them will share the resources, share everything among themselves. Then they leave the people hang dry. So if you look at we'll say the present government now in power now, see what they've done. First of all, they brought in, as in, they take away the little lifeline the people use in surviving, which was the fuel subsidy and everything. they took that one out without replacing it with anything to make life easy for the people. Nothing was done. Not quite long again, they brought in the tax law, whatever they call it again. So what does that tell you? Are they not suffocating the people? That is what they're doing. They're suffocating to make sure that the people who have no voice to speak. Okay, now look at the issue of which you raised again in Lagos, going to people's houses where the people are living, demolishing the people. Okay, we all know that. Should permit me to use this word. Is it out or the other word for it, agberos or something? What did they call them or something or thereabout? That's the way they take things from people. They take people's property by force? They take it from them. Okay, now you went down there now, you demolish the property where those people are living without you providing places or places for them to live. So now you render those people homeless. You the government, you have not people. You don't assist the people. Nothing you can do for the people. So when those people start doing what they are not supposed to do tomorrow, now the same you will be the one to pick those people, go lock them up where you're not supposed to lock them up. So who is not the one committing the atrocity here? Is it not the government? It is the government. So the government are the one pushing. You're the one pushing those people to where you're not supposed to push them. Where you're not supposed to push them to. That's one area again. Now I'll give an example again. Look, like in Canada now. When you're running a business, the government make it easier that no matter where you come from, you need to bring anybody, whether it is white, black, you bring them in, you employ them. Everybody needs to coexist. There is a law, you cannot discriminate against any particular region or anything another. So everybody must work together. Things must go the way things are supposed to be. Okay, now, this issue of this other guy, I make a statement yesterday that this issue, this Igbo is the one doing this one is not doing this Yoruba is the one doing this. All those things have to stop so that the country can move forward. It has to stop. Because you cannot, any little thing, it was the Igbos that did this. If it's not the Igbo, it's the Yoruba. Look at what the so-called who call himself a leader, whatever, Sani or whatever, whether Shehu Sani or whatever. Look at in short, you see, that kind of a statement alone, that kind of thing that came out of that man's mouth, it was supposed to have been investigated, and if that country was a proper functioning country, that guy was supposed to be investigated, honestly speaking. How can you open your mouth and start accusing a particular region of the country? We are all Nigerians, for Christ's sake. That has to count for something. That issue of tribalism, this one is this one is from this one was the one that did this. That is what he has drawn that country backward. There are so many, because if that society is a functioning society, there are laws that were supposed to ban these kind of things not to be taking place anymore. And if they are able to bring back this history, even back to the civil war and everything, and they start teaching everybody, they start teaching the children now, the next generation, they start teaching them. I believe it will help, because the 1966 generation, I believe, should I say, those people that took over, those military coups, everything that took over, those are the same people that are still running Nigeria today.
Thank you, Mr. Marvelous.
It's all right. I just hope everything, that country change for the better, because that's just the truth.
So that's why we keep talking. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
It's all right. Thank you.
Good night, sir. All right. Hello. Good evening, Oga Tony from Chicago. Welcome, sir.
Hello, Precious.
Sir.
Happy
New Year to you, sir.
Traveling.
It's okay. Yes. I hope you enjoy your trip, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yes. First of all, before I start my own opinion, my brother spoke class. I'm sorry about the tribalism, because it will not stop, because they are being promoted by the government we are under today. So how can it stop? They have a good idea, but the government cannot stop it. I believe why Sheikh Musa or the senator said that is to bring Obi down. When he called Igbo, many Northerners start looking at Obi as an Igbo man, Biafra. That's music. I see no reason that someone like that person that people are looking upon and another state man be saying such thing. Okay, let me come to my own issue about Fubara. As far as Fubara is, nobody will remove him from there.
Now, so on, I think, when I believe on ourselves,
Hold on. You know why I say that?
Okay.
Who is backing Fubara? Who's on the man? Who puts on the man backing Fubara full time? That's why it's Fubara. He's not a shake again. Who took Fubara to APC? Who puts on the man? Because Hope got information that Wike want to implant Sandede as governor of Imo State. Then Hope strike him back. So it's a battle between Hope and Wike. This is what's going on in Rivers State now. It's not Fubara again. That's why Hope took NSC to go and meet. Do you think that people have visited Fubara? Visited Fubara with Hope as one of the government official. How do you think Fubara will be shaking again? It doesn't shake again. So there is a battle between Hope and the APC and Wike. And there's no way they can allow Wike to bring down their own governor, which they have taken as a child. So it does belong to them. It's not like before again. Because that agreement was that he would not change party. Remember, that's why all those things that are pushing him, he still remain in PDP. He has no voice. But when the voice came, he listened to the voice. They changed to APC. That's strike on Wike. So there's no way that no Fubara will lose that thing. As far as it's concerned, if Wike do his own, they will do their own for the top. And there's no way, what's it called? The eyes of there's no way, Tinubu will back out Hope and support Wike. No. The eye of governors in Nigeria, the best that stay Tinubu state is Hope of the Imo State. He's always living there. He's always staying there with him. So I don't think it's a loose battle for Wike.
All right.
So let him go and live at his own home place. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, sir. Thank you. Okay, make I bring my brothers and Wade back here. T.Y. Danjuma, I see you. Good evening and welcome. And I also see Edwin, I see you. Oga Prince Francis Chilaka, I'm just hoping that we'll not have that hall back again so that we can all have a conversation this evening. Good evening, sir.
I don't know about that.
I am hoping.
Precious, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my sister. How are you? T.Y. Now, wow, long time.
Thank you.
Good evening, how are you doing? I will see you every time, but I just take small leave.
You know, say you want the long small. Make I let you start first before I follow Oga T.Y. Then I go let Prince Francis do the valediction.
Pope. Now you call her. From Prince to Pope.
It was a slip of tongue. Go ahead, please, Oga Edwin.
Yeah, sorry, my sister. Prince Chilaka, good evening.
Sorry, before you start, Oga Edwin, make a report somebody to Oga Francis. Oga T.Y. Danjuma. I want to report Olayinka is to give you and Oga Francis Chilaka. Olayinka is talk say I'd be DSS officer relative or wife, or maybe na a side chick I be. Now we make my lights they blink and my internet they go off. Say other guests go they come, the internet they get problem, their light they get problem, my own they get problem, and I don't see my trouble. I say make a report Olayinka is given her. So if I am not a Tinubu's girlfriend, I cannot be doing well. I cannot have inverter in my house that give me power. I cannot be my own minister of power and minister of communications. That's on the lighter note anyway.
That's Nigeria for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Precious, I just want to start again with my usual slogan. If we don't reform INEC, all that we are doing now will be exercised in futility. Because come May 27th, 2027, Tinubu will be returned as president of Nigeria. So because, as they say, you cannot build something on nothing. And a building, with a faulty foundation will definitely collapse. The current recruitment process in Nigeria is being completely compromised. And not until we isolate that body, INEC, we extricate the duties, their role from the clutches of the presidency and those that call themselves, whether they are National Assembly and the rest, nothing is going to change in Nigeria. Because we have to start from somewhere. If we get good leaders, good people elected or occupy these offices in Nigeria, governors, ministers, senators, and the rest, everything will fall in place. And I keep hammering on this, and people keep disputing it. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Do you think we continue in this same groove and you think Nigeria will change? We are already a failed state, if we don't know. Nigeria is already a failed state. And to worsen matters, we want to go in an election with somebody handpicked by Tinubu and all these people at the helm of affairs to monitor, to carry out the election for 2027. In fact, the opposition, they are already drowning. There is nothing happening there because the current government are not allowing these people to breathe. The opposition parties are not going anywhere. The only figure there we see that we know some of us are clinging onto is just Peter Obi. Who do you think is going to give Tinubu a run for his money? There's nothing, because nothing is going to happen unless unless a new electoral law or laws are put in place for 2027. The status quo will remain. We will still have all these G7 governors. We will still have all these Division 3 people running the affairs of Nigeria. Those people who have nothing to offer. So if we don't change it, and I keep saying this, I don't know what the civil society groups are doing. Nothing is happening. And you expect a different result in 2027 when Wike is still around there, holding forth and holding sway in the judiciary. And then Tinubu is there at the end of affairs. You have INEC, DSS, police, military, all of them at the beck and call of Tinubu, and you want to ask him from the presidency. Like I have said times without number, Tinubu is not Jonathan. People should know that. Tinubu is not Jonathan. Otherwise, we won't be having the governor we have in Edo State. So people don't know that. And I keep saying it. I'm not wasting my saliva, but I keep hammering on this. Because this is the only thing I will say. Because other than that, I don't have any other contribution to make. I'm not going to talk about Shehu Sani and those ones. Shehu Sani is already a hungry man. He was just looking for something. So he can say anything. Why do you think, in the first place, have you ever given it a serious thought? Why everyone is decamping to APC? What has APC offered to Nigerians? But people are decamping to APC. That alone is not a serious warning to Nigerians. And we are still talking about 2027 elections, where we have the same INEC in place, the same process and processes, and not to talk of the already very compromised judiciary. If cases go to court and we have clear-cut guidelines, how election results should be collated, how it should be transmitted, and the judges see everything in black and white, clear one, because these judges can still give all these very useless and very, very faulty election verdicts, because they see loopholes. They go through loopholes. There are loopholes all over the place. But if we are able to scrutinize these loopholes, reform them, redefine them, so that INEC commissioner in the state will be responsible to chairman of INEC, not to talk of the presidency, or the chairman of INEC is truly independent. The body called INEC is truly independent. They will have a free, fair, and credible elections. And in the process, very credible people will be elected. And then don't forget, election in Nigeria is so expensive that for it to be a councillor, my cousin was elected a councillor. He told me the whooping amount of money he spent. So let us not deceive ourselves. Election has been completely monetized in Nigeria because of poverty. And that is what is happening on ground. And you want to tell me these Nigerians, you give them 10,000, you see them jumping up and down, and then you go and give them 30,000 because APC, they've earmarked a budgeted money for everything concerning 2027. So if we think we can talk from now to tomorrow, whole seminars, workshop, everything, like as I've said earlier, it is all exercise, or it will be exercise in futility. Then lastly, there is something I want to talk about, the Niger Delta governors. We are not keeping an eye on the 3% derivation formula accruable to these people. To the extent that my governor can be talking about, oh, we have so much money. What has he done to alleviate the sufferings of the poor people of my state, Delta? What has he done? Nothing. Has he got anything to show? Nothing. So it is with all the other South governors. That is why Wike wants to perish himself in the affairs of River State. So that is all. That is my submission for this night, Precious. So let me listen to TY. Maybe TY has some counter views, or maybe Prince Shilakatu can chip in one or two things before I go.
All right, TY Danchuma, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, my brother Edwin, and thank you, Prince. Precious, good evening again. First of all, I just like to correct something that was said about the road network in Asaba. You see, the place where you have the greatest pressure is the expressway that leads, from Benin through Asaba to Onitsha, to the old bridge. Now, some portions of that road have failed because of the pressure on the road. So that is a federal road, it's not a state road. And it has consistently been failing because of the heavy traffic on that road. And the person who should be responsible is Umahi. Just as, the whole road network, express from Lagos, going through Edo and so on, up to Delta, Abad. Now, so what happens is that at some point, in the state capital, as vehicles are going to Onitsha, okay, before they get to that bad spot, they veer off to state roads, inner roads. Nobody passes the express anymore, particularly when it's raining. It's really, really bad. So the pressure now moves from the federal to the state roads, to the inner roads. And those roads have also failed as a result of the pressure. So that's what is happening, but I think somehow I understand that the express is now being done, they're working on it. So that's the problem that you have in there, but that said, let me say I am that we don't know where our president is. I don't know if you know, Precious. I don't know any country where your president will be out and they won't tell you where he has gone to. It's not just happening, it's been happening, Yaradua, Buhari, and so on and so forth, until eventually heard that, so thing has happened. That's been the pattern. But we own the president because we pay his dues. He's a public figure. And Nigerians want to know the whereabouts of their president. So the fact that
oh dear, will I say internet don't come out? Maybe I say internet don't full up. But make I quickly take this call before you come back. Then I take your response, Prince Francis Chilaka. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Yes, please. You're welcome, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Trips. I'm calling from United Kingdom.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Trips.
Yeah, my contribution tonight is I don't even know why in West Time arguing about Fubara and Wike. They say this is to show that Nigeria is not going to get better soon. I hope we do. It does get better, but it shows Nigeria is not going to get better soon. If two people coming on television or anywhere they are, right? You know, threatening people, the lives of people. If it is a country that is a country, these people should be in jail. Not we arguing who is gonna win. That makes me angry all the time. When we come, this one is supporting this one is supporting that one. You know, it makes me so angry. If we can, we need to stop talking about these people, because what are they doing? What they're doing, is it actually right? Threatening people. You people don't see the degree of what Wike and Fubara is doing. You know, another one I want to contribute is about Shehu Sani. I don't blame Shehu Sani, because we all can hear it from if somebody who is on national television like a party can come up and say it is the Igbos that did that. Who is Shehu Sani? Shehu Sani can only get to the voice he can get to. But this person, that voice is provided to him, and he's using it to his advantage. So I don't know why we keep targeting the wrong people. If anything should happen, this man shouldn't be on television, because you and I knows how many times he has decotted himself. Man, when I listen to news coming out of Nigeria, I'm not happy.
Sorry.
I'm really not happy.
Sorry, sir.
But I need to your advice. I always need to your advice when a flood wants to run to.
You protect your mental health.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Let me let you finish his thought. Ogatiwa, you were saying something before the line. Your internet put you out. You see,
yeah, I wonder. I don't know whether na Ndoki Juju na.
I make Olaika is still be Jagaban, because my internet still go off. Nigeria. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that it's worrisome that our president can be out for this long. We are paying the bills. His aircraft is parked somewhere. We're paying for parking fees. Whoever went with him, his entourage, we're paying for his feeding, we're paying for everything.
Your bluffs, send on her.
Yes, and he's supposed to be doing his duty, although they'll tell you he can stay anywhere and do his duty, the normal trash that they used to say. The vice president, I understand, is probably out, so the president is away, vice president is away. I don't know who is in charge. Anyway, but the point that I'm making, the signs that we see are not good for Nigeria. And I don't think they are tackling it. It's not enough. It's not just simply to go and pay somebody $9 million to launder your image when people already know what your image is. It's the way they smell. There's no, if you like, use perfumer. When the perfume finish, the smell will still be there. So that's arrant nonsense. Money that would have been put into good use. And I can tell you, out of that $9 million, I actually, tried to do an exchange using 1,450, and that is about over $13 billion. At 13 billion naira. 13 billion. That will solve a lot of problems in Benue, in Plateau, in Southern Kaduna, those places where people are out of their homes and they are in IDP camps. But the point I want to make is the US calls some African countries, 6 or 7 African countries, for a meeting. Nigeria was not invited. Nigeria has been making frantic efforts at executive level to speak with, the executive level in the US. It hasn't worked. We also were part of the tariff, war ban that Trump put. We had the visa policy, the first one, resulting in a review, that is
You're planning another one now because in all of on our way they say that they pay on they take care of on our welfare. So because of that, they no one wanna come their country again.
That's the new one that about 33% of Nigerians where they here say that they live off government. They know
Yeah.
And then there's a new visa. There's another problem with the temporary ban on immigrant visas, and Nigeria is affected.
Oh, yes, that was before this last one now.
Yes, and then we have the issue of CPC, country of particular concern, and then we have the strike, and so on and so forth, all on Nigeria. Doesn't that tell you that there's something happening? Doesn't that tell the government that something serious is happening and they need to take very urgent action? They need to mend their ways. They need to straighten up their ways. One country, we have never ever had it this bad. Never had it this bad. Nigeria has become inconsequential in international diplomacy, international politics, and so on and so forth. Nobody wants, even within the African West African sub-region, people poke their fingers into our eyes. Our passport is nothing. So that is a warning, and people are moving to APC and saying the government is doing well, and people are praising this government, saying things are going well. When it's very, very clear to everyone within Nigeria and outside that something serious is about to happen to this country, and that our leaders need to sit up, not playing the ostrich and doing this nonsense that they're doing, thinking that that is going to help. It's sad. Very, very sad. You don't need anybody to tell you that the road that going through, this path that we're going through is dangerous and is not going to lead to anything good. They can be talking about 2027, but 2027 may never ever come. For those who are waiting for it, who are angling to be part of it, it may not come because the signs that we see are ominous. These are not good signs for any nation, any country. There are other countries that have engaged when some of policies that affected them, whether it's the visa ban, whether it's tariff, whether there are countries that want to engage to see diplomatically to see what they can do, things that can be relaxed for them. Not Nigeria. Not with Nigeria. And you see the obvious you deny. You see killings you deny. And we are here, people are going to the moon, developing technologies that will help their country. And we are here discussing very, very primordial things that, belong to the Stone Age. And we say the country is moving forward. It's a big shame. Let me leave it there.
All right, Prince Francis, make I hear from you. Make I hear from you before I bring the Barrys. The Barrys, okay, the Barrys stay here. But make I let the Barrys talk, no vex. Say now you be Pope. Sorry, Prince. So you will do the valediction. Good evening, the Barrys, and welcome.
Good evening, my people. PMP Enterprise.
I know. I was expecting that to happen. It's okay. You didn't disappoint me. I think you see your constituents when she read message where she used the
Why you want to point out why now that say
you see your constituency?
I know they expect. I didn't expect that from you. Now France I didn't expect that thing from. No, but
oh my God!
Prince,
sorry,
Prince, Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
I wish you the same.
Precious, yesterday I had my notes where one lay out some important this thing, but I was on and off, and so many people took so many this thing. Anyways, that's good. You allow them to
but you were this thing. You were going on and off. At the time I wanted you to join, you had already gone off.
I've been day work and my hand was so full. Every time I get small chance, I come on. But then you had these people that took the whole. Anyways, make I not waste their time. I not waste my time. See, this issue of Fubara and Wike. I don't know why people they break their head. You know what's interesting? Why do Nigerians want everybody to fight according to this person? Why not be everybody go fight like Wike now? We don't see that one. We're not supposed to just back and forth, back and forth. If you know say you know go fit fight person where they come with full force, you slow down. There are too many strategies. You see the downtown Abuja, there are too many ways to get in that downtown. So I'm not sure say Fubara assistant and star be this. I was blaming him. I thought he needed to come out and start talking, but I couldn't find and say, if you go talk with Wike, go fight with Wike, now you go lose. Oh. So I think he has his way of doing this thing. Whatever he's doing is working for him. I don't see any impeachment, all that nonsense. Now money then they find. We all know that. So I feel like say he gets, he know what thing they do. He don't decamp enter APC. He gets some people where they with him. Why going back and forth to Wike go destroy? He's been preaching peace the whole time. Maybe that's his own strategy. Is to achieve whatever he intends to achieve peacefully. Not fighting Wike come here, you go the other side. You're not going to win Wike like that. Now, so Wike is a very lousy, hopeless, I go fit call him any name where I fit describe. Now, so in there. So there's no need. I see everything. There's no need. Fighting if it go happen. Say they impeach and fine. Let it be. Maybe that's who he is. It's just a calm person like that. Most of we know the story of a sheep and a chicken. When hawk go collect their pikin, maybe not so demand there. So we could just for advice. The same thing with Peter Obi. Peter Obi, they're very calm. He's trying to kind of present to us this calm way of doing politics. We don't have to do all this Tinubu style of politics. This is not the last. When they fall, then go fall like tortoise. All their shield go break, go crash. So why doing that? So Peter B is the same way. He's just doing his thing, So the question where I want to live now with Prince, I beg tell me, when Nigeria say we are so intelligent, we are so this, we are so good, everything, you go everywhere, go see Nigeria and this and this and that. Why is it that when we see people where they calm, intelligent and collective, everything, why do we want them to turn the other way that we keep complaining about? Why is it so? Why we see people where they nice, like we don't feel follow them, because they follow the ones where they make noise. Why is that so, Prince? Please, update me. Let me use that word. Update me on that ideology, that kind of mindset. Thank you. Well done, Precious.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All right. Prince Francis Chilaka, over to you, sir.
Let me take it from his last comment that I was reading an article. Was it yesterday or so? It's an article of a lady whose mother and auntie were killed by one guy. He murdered them. And the guy got arrested and sent to prison. And the lady, who now grew up, went to the prison, started getting close to the guy that had forgiven him. And then eventually facilitated the guy's release from prison and offered the guy a job in their business, in their family business. I think about 2-3 years into, and I started dating the guy. 2-3 years after, the guy killed her. And then the question is, must there not be a limit to that word forgiveness? Should we forgive like a blank check? So when people say Fubara is not doing what they expect, or we're not saying that Fubara should start holding monthly press conference and begin to tell us how he worked for his organ to when he was. No, that's not what we want. But what people are saying is that Fubara should be, as it is now, understand his powers as a governor and use it. He keeps giving room for his authority to be challenged. I mean, Fubara is not the only governor in Nigeria that the State House of Assembly would be throwing stones at, like he said, it's not every dog that barks that you stone. So that's the point. That's why people are saying that Fubara is too quiet. It's too, there are things Fubara should do that as a governor will shake the state. And when it does it, everybody will know that, yes, there's a new sheriff in town. But, leaving that, Precious, I think when I was fighting with my Band A and Bandwagon and Bandless, you raised the story about the billion that was earmarked for sports in Ogun State. The sport that happened last year.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is why we keep saying that the budget office really do not do anything. What they do is they just how do I put it? They don't scrutinize the budget. They don't know what has been done in the previous budget. So what they just do is copy and paste, and then they hurriedly present it for assent. That's what they do. So if this figure was not pointed out and goes through, somebody in the system will just bring the money out and the money is gone. So because we lack checks and balances, that is why a lot of things are going the way they are going. But finally, to Nigerians, never say never. And I totally agree with everybody who has said that Nigeria is a failed state. I don't argue with them. But like I keep saying, the only thing that has kept Nigeria going is the resilience of the people, the determination of the people, the people's belief, not the leaders' belief, but the people's belief in holding Nigeria together. And so I give kudos to the Nigerian people. And in giving that kudos, I say to Nigerians, go out there, get your PVC, hold on to it, use it well. Forget this 5,000, this 10,000. Those of you who collected for 5,000 and 10,000 in last election, how weather now? How body view now? Is there any special market for those who collected money? Is there any special market for APC? Is there any special market for Muslims or Christians? Yet you allow the politicians to divide you along these lines. And you think you'll be better off. You can never be better off. Since this government came to power, I know how many marriages have taken place, or weddings rather. How many of your children, those of you who collected money, how many of your children are marrying these politicians' children? How many? So please, let us be realistic. Let us wake up to the fact that we need a better country, and that better country cannot be gotten without you and I doing the needful. And that needful is ensuring that we vote people with class, people with integrity, people with love to lead us. Not all these vampires we have all over the place.
Just like Mr. Oga Edwin talking, say, these things where they talk now will be achievable without electoral reform. So that means we really need an electoral reform, right?
No, everybody knows we need electoral reform. And, it's unfortunate that you have a Senate that, calling them rubber stamp is giving them, you are glorifying them, you are defying them. They are worse than that. And that's the truth. Rubber stamp, you are defying them. They are worse than rubber stamp. They are stampless. That's the truth. Yeah, because there is nothing they have done. Every bill they have passed, none has been for the Nigerian people. None is for the ordinary Nigerians. So that's why I said that, it's difficult to define who they are. But we'll move on. We're hoping that in the next few months that they'll be able to do something about the Electoral Act so that we can have an election that will be free and fair.
All right. Thank you so much, Francis Chinaka. I appreciate you big time for joining us. It's past 1 a.m. Let me allow you go sleep. Thank you, sir.
You don't know before?
I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Thank you,
All right.
sir.
No
Thank you. Good
problem.
night.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. All right, Nigerians, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you join us and discuss issues concerning our country and ways we can move this country forward. We do hope that one day these are efforts that will count for something, will yield results, and we will enjoy. See, we'll not waste our time here just to come to talk the blab. This platform wasn't opened for just talking and blabbing or wailing. It was open to share productive ideas we will move our country forward. And I do hope, say, with the constant hammering, one day they will do the right thing. Don't make no mistake about it. They are hearing us. They hear what we're saying. They've been listening to us, and I am very optimistic that one day they will see the agitation and the hunger where people get to see this country change for the good, and then they will begin to do the right things, and perhaps things will change for good. I love you guys. Appreciate you. See you again tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, I'm supposed to have someone as a guest, but I haven't confirmed it. An American, a young American man who's doing fantastic job in Benue State. So he's been rebuilding houses for people in Benue State. He's an American. And I've discussed with him. He's supposed to feature on the show tomorrow evening. But I'll let you know. As usual, I'll go pass message across to those way they share way I get their WhatsApp numbers. I'll pass message across so that in case we're having him, you would already know. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow irrespective. God bless you big time. Good night. Protect your mental health. Like I always say.